Hi, welcome to ShowMeTheCurry.com. I'm Hital.
I'm Anuja, and today we're going to show you how to make a Masala Chai Eggless Cheesecake. I know. It's like, I'm so looking forward to this, just tasting it.
There's just so many desirable things in there. Masala chai, I mean, that's like such a staple flavor for so many of us, right? Everybody has a masala chai.
Like a comfort thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then it's eggless because we know so many people don't eat eggs.
And the best part, the best part is it's a no-bake cheesecake. Wow. You don't have to wait as long, and you don't have to go through, a longer process.
If it's the summer, you don't have to turn that crazy oven on. Yeah, so that's definitely a big plus.
So it's a simple recipe. It's just step by step. We just have to follow it step by step. So let's just get started. Step one.
So first of all, we're going to work on the crust for the cheesecake. And the crust is, of course, like all cheesecakes, it's graham crackers. So these are the graham crackers that we're using. Plain flavored, there's no flavor in these. And we're going to use about 10 to 11 of these crackers.
So this is the graham crackers that we just ground in a little blender. And this is what it looks like, just a fine powder. To this, we're going to add 5 tablespoons of butter. Now this was measured cold, so it was measured cold, 5 tablespoons, and then melted. So we're going to add this to the graham crackers.
Now it's okay if you have salted or unsalted butter. For this recipe, it doesn't matter. Usually when we make desserts and there's a little bit of pinch of salt in there, it actually enhances the sweetness in the desserts. So if you have salted butter, that's fine. If it's unsalted, maybe you want to add a little pinch of salt.
And we're going to mix it. So I'm going to keep mixing it till all the crumbs get a little moisture. You don't want any dry spots. So that's mixed in, and you can see there's no dry spots. We've got a 10-inch springform pan over here. This works out really good for cheesecakes. The bottom line is, the difference is that the bottom portion comes off. It's got a little latching feature here, so it comes off, and we've just cut a parchment paper to size, and it fits right in.
So now we're just going to take our graham crackers and pour it right in and spread it out. It looks like a lot of graham crackers right now, but we're going to compress it and kind of push it in to make that crust, so eventually it gets into a pretty thin layer. And once we have it evenly spread out like this.
So over here we have a little flattish, actually this is a lid for a container, but you need anything flattish, anything flattish would be perfect, because you want to kind of press this in. So like a katori, like a bowl, or a spatula that is really strong,
If you have something
that'll
like
work.
this,
Yeah,
it'll work.
so what you're going to do is, now you're just going to press the graham crackers in and pack them in really, really well. So this looks good. I'm just going to round it off with my fingers just at the edges so that I get all the sides, which I kind of missed with that.
Especially when you cut it, you don't want those sides to just crumble off. And once that's done, we're going to put our pan into the refrigerator, and that butter, that melted butter that's in there, is going to kind of solidify that whole crust and keep it in place. So while we're working on the rest of the process, it's going to be cooling down.
So for the next step, we actually already have 3 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese, and they're at room temperature. And they've been out for about an hour or so, so they're really soft.
And the softer it is, the easier it is to mix it later on. So you definitely don't want to skip on that step to make it to room temperature.
Right.
But we're going to put these aside and actually work on our next step. But this is an important step. So of course, the star ingredient for our masala chai cheesecake is the chai masala.
Yes.
So chai masala is such a fragrant mix of spices, and we just wanted to share with you one of our friends. She's a very close friend of ours, and she actually has a company that makes chai masala. So look at this, beautifully packaged.
She has a lot of different varieties, of course. So this one says it's for pitta types, and this one is for vata. She has a whole variety of them, so you can check out her website. It's basically restoresimply.com. So we're going to be featuring her chai masala in our cheesecake.
Absolutely, and this one is the one we're going to be using. It's called Balance.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll be like balanced after this. So you're probably wondering, this is an eggless cheesecake, what's going to make it hold together? No, we are not using gelatin, because I know a lot of recipes are out there, right, that use gelatin, but if you're not going to eat eggs, then you might as well not eat gelatin because it's not vegetarian.
Right.
But yeah, we have another ingredient.
So we're going to be using agar agar, and this is what it looks like. It almost looks like glass noodles kind of thing. You can see over here.
So we found this at our local Asian store, but we know that Indian stores also carry it. But yeah, it comes like that. You may also find it in a powder form, but if you don't, where we didn't, we can actually take some of that and put it in our little grinder and grind it finely. And that's what it looks like in powder form after it's been ground up.
So this is the secret ingredient that's going to gel everything, but now you know the secret. So let's start making the cheesecake now.
So we've got a small saucepan here with exactly 1 cup of water, and we're going to bring that water to a boil. Okay, the water's come to a boil, and I'm going to put in exactly 1 teaspoon of our agar powder and let it boil for 5 minutes. When you boil it, that's what actually activates it. Just give it a quick stir. And let that boil. I'm going to turn down the stove a little bit. Our mixture's been boiling for 5 minutes exactly, and the water has reduced a little bit, and that's absolutely fine. So at this point, we're going to switch off the stove, and we're going to add our tea masala. It's 1, 2, and 3 teaspoons of tea masala, as well as 3 heaping teaspoons of tea. And we're going to mix that well and just let it steep. Now this is supposed to be a very concentrated mixture here, so don't worry if it looks looking kind of strong. And I'm just trying to break down all the lumps in here. And we'll let that sit for a few minutes until we work on the rest of the ingredients. So we've got our softened cream cheese here in a nice big mixing bowl.
And to that, we're going to add in a 14-ounce can of condensed milk.
Condensed milk is like the yummiest thing on this planet.
Yes,
So
I know we're going to be fighting about licking the can after this. And this is the source of the sugar in the cheesecake.
And we have a hand blender right here. We're just going to go ahead and mix that. This was so much easier to mix because that cream cheese was soft. If it's not really at room temperature, can't stress that enough, you're going to get lumps of cream cheese and it's not pretty. Is this perfect?
Over here we have the agar agar. It's still warm. You don't want it to cool down. We're now going to add this to the cream cheese. So I'm going to sieve it because you don't want the tea leaves and all to go in there.
And it's okay if it's hot. If it's not hot, that agar agar is going to start clumping up and you don't want that to happen. So if it's hot and in here, it will cool down eventually in the fridge.
And I'm just going to help it along with a little spoon. So if you have tea bags, you can use those also. Work just as well. You press it out so that all the liquid comes out, and because we need every bit of it.
You need that intense tea flavor to get in. And we're going to go ahead and blend this all together again.
So this has been mixed well. So now what you can do is, you can give it a taste test and see if it's strong enough for your liking. So you can always add in a little bit more the chai masala if you like one of those people who likes like chai masala in your face kind of people, right? So some people like it more intense, some people just want a little hint of it. So good time to taste test right now. But always keep in mind that once it sets, it's going to get more intensified. The flavor is going to get more intensified. So this is really, really good.
And just like the chai masala, also the chai, the tea. If you're one of those really strong kind of tea flavored people who drinkers, then we added like 3 heaping teaspoons. Go ahead and add more.
Yeah.
It's all subjective. It's whatever your taste buds are, you can adjust it and it's not going to change anything else.
Yeah.
So more tea, more masala, up to you. And so now we have our crust that's been resting in our refrigerator and cooling down. It's nice and cool and it's solidified. So we've got that. And our final step here, we're going to pour this right in.
Wow. And now we're going to just smooth it out. How good does that look?
Looks divine.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry you guys are not here. Even it out, spread it out, and just make it a little more smooth on the top.
If you actually wanted to make designs, I know some people make little scallop designs on top. That's also doable. So up to you, however you'd like.
So it goes back in the fridge, at least overnight, at least 8 hours minimum. Yes.
That's the hardest part. Everything else was so easy on this recipe, and the hardest part is going to be for us to wait until it completely solidifies and sets so that we can try it out.
Right. So we're going to cover it with foil. And a couple of reasons. One is you don't want anything to fall into it, and number two, you don't want it to absorb any of the other smells and odors in the fridge.
So we waited a full 24 hours. Next day.
All right.
So proud of us.
Yes, let's have a look. Oh.
Completely solid.
So this looks good. Look at it. Wow. And now we can remove the sides.
Okay. Gently lift that out.
Look at that.
And we can see the nice, beautiful graham cracker crust on the bottom and the cheesecake on the top. Oh, it looks delicious.
Absolutely. Just want to clean this off.
All right, let's gently lift that off. And look at that. It's holding shape and looks beautiful. Slide that off.
Work of art, right?
Ready?
Yes. Armed and ready.
We've been waiting a very long time.
Oh, I want the crust.
Yeah, I want the crust too. Here's a little bit of crust.
Side. Oh, look at it. It's holding up so beautifully. Look at it. It's holding up so beautifully. Oh.
Oh, wow.
I can taste all the flavors from the masala.
Wow.
The chai masala. And towards the end, you can get the taste of the tea. It's like
Very subtle.
very
Very,
subtle.
very subtle.
Like a nice milky
Yes.
tea with lots of chai masala in it. Really,
Wow.
isn't it?
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
such a soothing, very soothing flavor.
So what it reminds me
Delicious.
of also, honestly, is, you know, like when you have a masala chai and you dip some glucose biscuit in there
Oh, yeah.
and you eat
Yes.
it. It's all
All
that.
a whole package in one.
So
In
I
a
guess-
cold form.
Right. I guess this is for breakfast from now onwards,
Yes.
right?
Oh my
There you
god.
go.
It's so good. You guys are gonna love this. It's absolutely delicious.
Absolutely divine, yes. Comfort, and you know that there's that homely feeling, and it just warms your heart. So one of the things we wanted to explain about is agar agar. Now it is a product that is, it's a vegetarian and a vegan product. It comes from seaweed. I mean, of course, in this recipe it's not vegan, but if you do, as a vegetarian or a vegan, you want to use it for something else also, it is definitely possible. But that was the secret ingredient, because gelatin, you know, some people are okay with and some people are not.
So please, please, please try this recipe out. I guarantee you will gain a lot of fans amongst your friends and family. It's just super delicious. But if you do like this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel because it helps us, believe it or not.
Yes. And make sure you hit that bell button, because anytime we post a video, you'll be the first one to know.
Yep. So enjoy this delicious masala chai cheesecake and join us again on another episode of ShowMeTheCurry.com.
Adding a pinch of spice to your life.